Greetings and welcome to the Astronomy Picture of the Day podcast. Today's picture for March 26th of 2025 is titled Star Formation in the Pacman Nebula. So what do we see here? Well, here we see what is known as the Pacman Nebula, which has a distinctive shape kind of resembling the figure Pac-Man from the video games. And we can see that here and see various different colorations in it. And what is happening within this nebula is that it is forming stars. So the stars will begin to form from the gas and dust, and we can see actually some of the little bits and pieces left behind from that. In fact, those very dark globules that are present are actually regions where stars are presently forming. Now, sometimes they're just sitting there all alone by themselves. So just an isolated globule, one blob of denser material that is still forming a star, that is still strong enough to hold up against the intense energy of the stars that have already formed, that are trying to eat away and clear out this nebula. Other times you can see tendrils almost pointing in towards the brighter stars at the center. And those again are denser, dark areas where stars are trying to form. And it becomes a question of whether the star is able to form fast enough that it can become a star before the other stars that have already formed eat away at the dust, preventing its formation. So in a way, star formation is a battle between the stars and the dust to see whether the dust can collapse into a star before the other stars, which have already formed, can eat away at that dust and push it away out into space. Now, in the long run, the stars will win. So the stars will eventually clear out this nebula, and you can see the central area is already hollowing out, and the star formation continues, except in those very few globules, which we know as Bach globules, that are toward the center. Most of the star formation is towards the edges now. So material is pushing out towards the edges. And as more stars form, that process will continue and will push away more and more material, eventually leaving behind just a cluster of stars here. So in the center, we'll have a cluster of stars, and we will see just wisps of dusty material left around it from the star formation that went on. Now, of course, the time frame for that is very long. We will never be able to see that change in our lifetimes because it takes a very long time for this process to occur. However, we can look at other various star forming regions at different stages, and we can see others where there's a lot more dense material towards the center, and others which have pretty much cleaned everything out and only have wisps of material and a bright star cluster at the center. So here we're getting one in between those phases, and trying to look at all of those helps us to better understand the overall process of star formation. So that was our picture of the day for March 26th of 2025. It was titled Star Formation in the Pacman Nebula. We'll be back again tomorrow for the next picture. So until then, have a great day, everyone, and I will see you in class.